Hello beautifuls, my name's Epic Treasure. Welcome to the channel. I'm croaky. Because I'm not very well, but I've been working on this base relentlessly for the past couple of days. This is base 7.0. I'm not changing the number yet. Wait for the new content to come out and then we'll alter it for whatever they're going to bring out. But right now this base is prepped full bang for the new DLC with the Terraria PALWORLD crossover. Don't forget, if you'd be so kind to like, comment, if you can, helps the algorithm, subscribe and hit the notification button. Welcome to the new members. If it was not for you, this content wouldn't be possible. So much love to you. Jump in the Discord channel, link in the description below. That being said, let's get to this. So this base was predominantly created to have the perfect all-in-one base. And right now it's gone through a couple of changes just to prepare for the new content, and those changes are predominantly the iron ore, and the iron ore is important for a few reasons. The first one is a general reason, that is all of the ingots thus far utilize the ore, raw ore. So one of my recommendations is to mine and mine and mine that ore at a base. Doesn't matter where it is, obviously, because you have the in the production you've got the tier 2 ore mining pit things that you can put down. They can go anywhere, so I would go nuts with that. But also with this base, it's set up so we don't have to tend to things ourselves. We can go off, do our stuff in the world and not have to play farmer. And that's what this base is all about. It is about primarily it being self-caring, self-contained, basically. So the little tour of this one is there's no mods on this stuff at all. I'm on Xbox. But the changes that have happened to this is there's predominantly the iron ore, the tier 2. Previously, there was focus on the breeding pens around the place. There's still 2 breeding pens up the top. But this space is primarily made for pure streamlined production without having to have crops and crops and crops that you're watering non-stop all the time, which I don't like to do. So the iron ore is something in the new content, and it will always probably be in the new content, because every ingot in the game thus far needs like the raw iron ore to make every single thing, right? So you need it for the normal ingots, you need it for the refined ingots, you need it for the palmetto ingots, you need it for the plasteel, and you also need it for the hexalite, right? So ore is the staple, basically, of every single thing that you're sort of making production and construction wise, besides, you know, building, etc., foundations, so on and so forth. But this is a no-brainer out of everything. So that's something I would be going nuts making. That being said, like I said, this base is made for streamlined, clean production, and as you can see, these coins are going nuts on this conveyor belt, this gold making machine. There's only one character on this machine at the moment. You can put multiple ones on there. This money will just be there in seconds. So what I basically do, and many other PALWORLD people do, is that we will make ore, we will put it straight in the furnace. It's incredibly fast when you have your pals maxed out and you've leveled them up. And then we just go to the vendor, because the vendor sells things that you can't have at the farms. You can't make a farm at the moment that has electric organs, right? So people go, oh, well, you know, you could just have a farm and you can just do all this farm-wise. No, you can't actually, because there's 2 vendors, 2 main vendors. There's the wandering vendor, there's one with the green jacket, and then there's the one with the red jacket. So the one with the red jacket is the guy over here, and he's the guy that has, so I'll show you right now, he has all the cake ingredients except for honey, right? So he's got the wheat that we put in the mill. He's got the red berries. He's got the milk. He's got the eggs, right? He's got the food to make your food with. And then he's got leather. He's got wool. He's got electric organs. This is exactly what you need. This is the biggest pain in the booty because you use that for lighting, power. So that is something that I would be certainly looking at. And some people use, they'll go and make assorted production products to sell to the vendor. To me, it's easy just to make money. It's quicker. You're not standing there producing stuff. They're doing everything for you. You don't have to go, oh, I want to order this many of this. It just goes. Right. So that being said, there's that vendor, right? Then the other vendor we want is the one with the PAL oil. Okay, so we're going to just bring this one out really quickly. I'm going to just get rid of one of these bees for now. This guy here. This guy, if you haven't caught him yet, Mr. Green Jacket, if you make a base at the Plateau of Beginnings here, so if you build a base down here, I'll show you it in a minute because it's a really amazing trade base that I made this week. They will always wander onto that base and you literally catch them just like a pal. You go up to them and beat them down and then put them in the sphere. And now they do, work, etc. But once you catch them in the sphere, you can use them as a vendor in the game. And these guys have also the cake ingredients. They got the medicine ingredients, but they also have the high quality PAL oil and the PAL fluids, which you can get at a farm. You can, at a ranch, you can make it at a ranch. You can use whale things out and so on and so forth. But you can just buy them now. So go nuts on your mining because you need the ore. The ore makes the ingots, and then you've got your cash. Done. So those are the two vendors that you need, and they've got all the ingredients for the cake except for the honey. And like I said, this base is made for production. And so here I've got a massive beehive that if you want to go nuts on honey, then you can take all your pals away and just spend, however long on having those bees in there and going wild on the honey. Look at it, it's demented. I've only got a few bees in there, there's not even that many. So at the moment, this base is set up for both ore production, but also the cake production too. But if you want to go nuts, you want to spend, an hour or something on just let's go wild on making ore, then take everything else away. But here is my thus far ultimate, I guess, list. And I do want to move that vendor shop that's over there too, because this is where the money machine is. I want the vendor closer. We could bind the vendor to the little tavern over here. I suppose I could do that pretty easily, but yeah. And then there's a sanctuary out the back. There's a whole tutorial on 7.0. Watch that on the channel. It is step by step. It's not one of these, wanky, here's a tutorial, but it's just walking through and telling you where to put stuff. It's step by step the whole way. And over here, this is something new that I've done. Aren't you proud of me? If you watch the channel, you know how disorganized I am. Now there's all of the storage crates with names. I've got crazy amounts of extra room now, which I will fulfill. I will fill that up. And again, I'm saying there's no mods or anything in this game. I know people go, oh God, it's a massive base. It's really not. It's just making use and making the base very user-friendly for big pals, and that's why I've got double staircases, and that's why everything's not like this convoluted claustrophobic mess. That's basically the plan anyway. So let's just get that. I've got a little bed in there. I'm going to move that because I just find that to be sort of jarring a little bit. ideally, I want to be able to fast travel to my home, bang. I want to be able to sleep straight away if I have to. I want to be able to command my pals at the monitoring station. I want to be able to grab money. I want to be able to buy, right? Everybody else is mining in the meantime and they're out of my way. The bees are doing their own thing. We don't have to worry about that. So let us go to the monitoring stand and go through each of the characters, which you can sort of chop and change, obviously, depending on what you want. But as for the overall base, this is the one where we're not including Hexalite. The base for Hexalite, and I believe you'll be needing to mine that too, is down here at minus 1066, then minus 1431. Watch the tutorial on the triple Hexalite tutorial. I'll take you there at the end of this video. You don't want to miss that. This one's where you're going to get your Chromite from. I can guarantee you this is probably the thing that you're going to be most depleted in because it's harder to get. Those two things, Hexalite and the Chromite, is what you're going to need, I think, most, that you might not have a whole lot of. So going into the monitoring stand, these is what I have here in this base. I have 3 gigantic furnaces, and the main reason for that is to sort of dual wield one at the same time to make those ingots, and the other one's just to make a different ingot if I need to, you know. So once we know what's going on, and we'll be able to tell, I think, when that trailer comes out, I will be sitting there and I'll be picking that trailer apart heavily, just like we did last time, with predictions exactly like last time that were correct. Now, the next one is the large scale stone oven. Those ones are specifically there for cake making. If you are into making stat food, then you can go nuts with that. Remember, you can buy those ingredients from the vendor too. And then another large scale stone oven. So one oven is really handy to do the breeding cakes, and the other one is handy to do for your stat food. The next one we've got is the crusher and the mill are empty, but I've got a level 5 water creature around. One I've got is sort of not bound to either one of those because it goes where it's needed. So if you bind it to the mill, it stays at the mill. So it's better to like let them wander. The next 2 things I have is 2 large power generators with the Ozerki guys there. The next one that I've got is the weapon assembly line. The next one I've got is the gold coin assembly line. There's just one of those on that, but when you start production, those sort of free agents walking around will come and help. Those ones that have got the handiwork. The advanced sphere assembly line, the production assembly line, those ones you're not going to be using all the time. They're in the base, but they're sort of like, okay, I'll use that when I need to. We don't need to bind anybody to that's a waste. So when we go to the ore mining, we've got let's see, 5 of those. So we've got 5 tier 2 ore mining sites. They are full of Anubises, and leveling those Anubises up is something that you want. The passives I'll get to in a minute for those. Then I've got coal mine. And I've got the Maraketh ones on the coal mine. Then again, the Anubis. Quartz is something I would be focusing on too. Having 2 or 3 quartz mines I think will be very handy. I think we might be seeing the need for quartz, whether it be for circuit boards or whether it be for something like, you know, getting sand from quartz to make silicon. I'm not sure. Nothing's confirmed or, you know, announced in regards to that, but who knows. The next one that we have down here are the ranches. So when you want to go full bang with your bees, then you can fill all those ranches up. But for now, I had 6, but I just put the vendor there, and they'll have heaps of honey. And then we've got one of the vendors on the sandbag now. So we can put that other vendor on the other sandbag. But remember, the vendors now, the merchants have work abilities. So they might go water things. So I would still bind these to your sandbags because, you know, we want to have them as vendors at a shop. Look at him going to work over there. And yeah, I do want to move this. So base 7.0 is going to be moved around a little bit. Just stay tuned for that. We'll be going to 8 once this content drops. What did I want to show you? I wanted to show you the passives of these ones. So incredible thanks to everybody that's given me their, and we'll go to the trade base in a minute, which will benefit you if you are in the live streams also. With the passives of these ones, I wanted ones that worked at night time. So this one's got work slave, artisan, remarkable craftsmanship, and vampiric. You don't have to put vampiric on, you can put serious on if you want, but I specifically wanted night workers. You would nocturnal on if you wanted to. Does not sleep at night, continues to work. So that's what I've got for that one. For the bees, it's going to be the same thing. That one's got the vampiric on also. And again, we've got the bushy knocked also. So they've got work slave, remarkable craftsmanship, etc. And then Catress, she does the fire, but she also does the handiwork and transport. So make sure that you use these when you get these books over here. You'll be able to do things to the NPCs in the game, and they'll be able to give you these things. So applied kindling technique 1, a rare book written about the secrets of kindling. Allow PAL to read it permanently, increase their kindling by 1, so +1. So that's very handy to have, and continually do those and max out your PALs. So you want your PALs to be all fully starred also. So let's go to the party. Let me just go to... let's see, not Xenolord, we'll go to Splatterina. So we need to level Splatterina up. We can see up there she's got 0 stars. So once we start to pump her up by using the essence machine, then her stats will go up. But all your dudes at the base, that's what you want to be working for, and that's why breeding is important. So basically breeding pals in order to sacrifice them in that essence machine. I don't want to get too ahead if you're not into it, but you get the idea. So if you've been watching the channel and you've seen 7.0, it's going through some changes at the moment. So what I'll do is, and that's got the expedition station put in there, you might need to pause it if you want to do the same thing with your 7.0 base. Let's actually sleep first so you can see it a bit better, I think. None of the beehive has changed. Like I said, I'm going to be moving the bed, I'm going to be moving stuff around, but you're going to get the gist of what I've changed. And you could also have some spare mindset too if you want to go absolutely demented on getting ore, then for sure go for that. So let us jump up in the air, and then I'll just fly out a bit so you can see a bit better, like that. That will be very helpful for that storage too. And then you might need to freeze it. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Might take a screenshot while you're doing that and I'm doing this. That might make life a lot easier. And then we'll go over this side. And also, yeah, you can change your meteorite drop times. So the lower the number, the more often they drop. So I believe if you set it at 1, it's every like minute or something like that. That being said, if you don't pick up those drops that happen, no new ones are going to drop. That's just how it is. But this base is looking really, really nice, but it's not finished yet. I just wanted to put everything in the right place so it would be very user-friendly for everybody, basically. So that's a nice shot there. Try and take a nice shot for the thumbnail. Now what I'll do is take you to the other bases. So now you know how to set up the ultimate base without having to sort of tend to it. It'll look after itself. So the next base I'm going to go to, I'm going to take you to the Hexalite one. The Hexalite one, I wouldn't spend so much time as I have on the decoration part of it. Right now, I would be putting maybe 6 mining characters there just to go absolutely demented on the Hexalite ore that's down there. So that's the ore. And also, my God, I totally forgot one thing. Please make sure you get your this, put that up, and then set it on, switch it and set it on work. So when you're away, they'll be mining away. And so, yeah, we have the 3 Hexalite there. So get your miners onto that. Get a box as close to them and just leave them. Leave them to go nuts and that. So that location, again, is minus 1066, then minus 1431. I'll fly over here. This is a whole tutorial of its own. It's very demanding because of the terrain. It has taken people a lot of goes to get this right because the terrain is such a pain. Look at it. But absolutely worth it at the end of the day, because this is, when you see this sort of totally raw, it is a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare to look at, but it's such a beautiful base. Gorgeous kitchen, you know, all this very sort of aesthetic. You know, there's even cauldrons underneath the ground, and there's another beehive there. And I'm not sure if they're going to change the whole beehive thing. Like, no, a beehive is not a thing, but the need to have it. So they're going nuts mining. The next place I'm going to take you to, so that's sort of tutorial. This next place has a tutorial of how to get there. It doesn't take very much, but the Chromite base is very important because it's the best place, in my opinion, to get the Chromite. What you'll need for this one is Smokey. Smokey's a pal there, and Smokey brings up the Chromite node. So when we make a harness and do dig dog dig, we can see down the bottom, which I'll do now. See how it pops it up? It pops up those nodes. And once Smokey's out, he'll give you double the Chromite that drops. And when you level Smokey up with the 4 stars, then he'll give you even more. So on and so forth. So those Chromite things pop up there. Then there's always 2 chests here, and they often have the tech manuals there too. Where's the other one? Do we have another one? Yes, we do. So go nuts on your Chromite. This is something you have to do manually at the moment. And there's an ancient technical manual. And then we've got Expedition Station over there. So it's going to pay to absolutely get your pals into doing that. And that there. So the one that I would suggest doing, if you can do these hard towers, I would be doing those if you can. So this ancient technical manual, the high grade tech manual, is what you're wanting. So this Moonflower Secret Hideout, so I would be doing that one, starting that. And then there's another one that gives you the ancient civilization parts and cores, and that's certainly one I would be going for too if you don't have those parts. The next place I'm taking you to is how to get to that Chromite base. We're going to travel up here. And this is my sort of water park base. Let me just jump on this. So that's a really cool base. There's nobody there at the moment. So when we leave that base, looking at the coordinates, we're looking at -871, -1318. So see that archway over there? That's the tunnel that you want to go into to get to the Chromite base. Right, that is the spot. That being said, the next one is take you down here and then take you to a new, just ignore all that stuff going on. This is the new trading base over here. And basically this is going to be for YouTube members to trade their pals with their DNA traits, etc. It's really beautiful. It's very homely. I spent crazy amounts of time on this one, and I wanted it to feel like home and to say thank you to the members for their support. So there's a whole it's a tutorial, so I'm building it sort of build with me type of thing as I go along, and it's just a very stunning build. We've got I think I blew the staircase up at the end of the video, which you'll see when that happens. There's a staircase which goes into this sort of water deck down there, but it's a really just a lovely homely spacey base, and it's even got a little fireplace in here and everything like that, which is very sweet. And then it goes out the back. Now when it comes to live streams, for example, I'll be able to have load up my other save, and I'm building a base there, which is the public. It'll be a public trade base, and that'll only be when I'm live streaming at the time, where you can jump in and then trade with other people. The reason why I don't want to have this as a public base, obviously, I don't want people to destroy it, and there's obviously weirdos out there that would delight in that. But this is a really nice place, and again, that's purely made for members to trade, who have really enjoyed the PALWORLD content, and newcomers to PALWORLD too. And I realised after building this too that even though if you set damage on to non-existent, basically stuff can still catch on fire. It can. So get your screwdriver repairs ready if you ever build with wood, regardless. So that's the space. It's really beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please check back with the 7.0 build. It will be an 8.0 very, very soon, but that's the shopping list basically, and what to get. And then as we get a little bit closer, I'll have a sort of clearer idea of the exact things that you're going to need by looking at the trailer. I love and leave you. Until next time, have an amazing day or night. And again, thank you so much to the following people for your support, and also your support if you're watching this video today. Until next time.